Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about how you can get your CFI rating for less than $3,000. So let's be honest, flight training is expensive. By the time we get to CFI, we're kind of out of money. So we're going to show you today the roadmap that I used to spend less than $3,000 out of pocket to become a CFI. Roll the intro. All right, so we're back. So there's a roadmap to do this to spend less than $3,000. And no, it's not one of the accelerated programs. Because if you look at American Flyers, I think it's like $4,000 or $4,500 or $5,000 now just to get your CFI in a 2-week program. I'm going to give you the roadmap today to spend significantly less than that, maybe even less than $3,000 I'm quoting here in this video. So it works best if you're just starting commercial or you're, let's say, halfway through commercial. Even if you're done the time building and you're just working on the maneuvers, getting ready for your commercial check ride, it's still not too late. It's all going to depend on you. But my recommendation is when you're in commercial, move to the right seat. Move to the right seat and do all of your commercial time building, maneuvers, everything from the right seat. Get comfortable with doing landings. Get comfortable with doing the commercial maneuvers from the right seat. Why? Because when you go for your CFI check ride, the flight portion is basically a commercial check ride from the right seat. So if you do commercial from the right seat and you pass commercial in the right seat, you can pass the CFI flight in the right seat. So how do we save money and how do we get through what is typically known as the hard part of CFI, the ground portion, the oral portion? So here's what you do. If you are in commercial, getting ready to go in commercial, anywhere in that aspect, go and get your lesson plans now, whether it's backseat pilot, Wi-Fi, CFI, wherever it is, you create your own, do whatever it is. If your goal is CFI, get those lesson plans early. I personally used Wi-Fi CFI. I got backseat pilot and I got Wi-Fi CFI because I heard good things about both. I didn't know what was going to work best for me. I ended up using Wi-Fi CFI. It fit me and my style better. So as I'm going through commercial, I'm using those lesson plans to study for my commercial check ride, but also I'm learning how to teach them as I'm going through. So I'm teaching myself, I'm teaching my dog, whatever. So you're going through and you're doing all of that. You're learning all of that material. So that way it's all fresh right there, ready to go. So now by the time you get to your commercial check ride, you are more than prepared. So you should breeze through that oral. Then you go out and do the flight, get through that. You can immediately then take the CFI because per the regs for CFI, you only need 3 hours of training for CFI within the last 2 months with an instructor. So you've had that somewhere in your commercial training because it's not very specific on the way it spells things out, at least in my opinion. If you believe it does, comment down below exactly what your explanation is of it. I see people argue about this 3-hour rule all the time. Either way, moving on, so now you're working on your CFI. Well, guess what? You already have the knowledge down. You already have the lesson plans. So you're ready to go as far as the oral is. And you just did your commercial check ride in the right seat. So now all you got to do is just get with a 2-year CFI that can sign you off. A, show them that you know how to teach the material. B, show them that you know how to land and fly the airplane from the right seat and do the maneuvers. That's a quick sign off. The only new material you should have is the FOIs. And you can even work on the FOIs while you're in commercial too. So when you get there and you're doing your actual training for your CFI, your classroom ground stuff that's going to be with the 2-year CFI should be next to minimal. Your flight time should be next to minimal. So then at that point, you're getting your sign off. Now you're going in and you're doing the check ride, which is the most expensive part. Because let's be honest, the CFI check ride, it's the longest one out there. It's the most expensive one. You're going to see on averages Right around $1,500 for that check ride. Mine cost me $1,600 just because that's what the DPE charged. Um, so if we take 15, 16, let's call it $2,000. I quoted you $3,000 here for this video. That gives you $1,000 to play with for flight and for ground training to get your CFI. But if you've listened to me and you've prepared for it through commercial, you shouldn't need but maybe an hour or two of ground, maybe a quick 1 hour flight to go up, show you can do the landings, show you can do the maneuvers. And if you're still within the same school that you did your commercial, it's going to make it even faster and even cheaper for you because they're going to know you already know this stuff. They're going to know that you've already done everything for commercial in the right seat. So there is no transition period that you're trying to fight through to get there and you're wasting money and doing all that. Take that time and that money, you're spending it on time building and commercial. Take that time to get yourself oriented to the right seat at that point in time. You're spending the money anyway. Why not just not, you know what I mean? Two birds with one stone. Why not? Make life easy for yourself. Do that transition in commercial. I wish I did. I got lucky. The transition for me to the right seat was super simple. I know other people that struggle with it. So make that during commercial when you're time building anyway. That way you're not spending that money twice. You're not just doing all of that time building, doing your check ride, and then now you got to go fly for 10, 15 hours because you're just not getting the right seat. Do it all at the same time during commercial. That way, once you're done that commercial check ride, you can pretty much literally go to CFI check ride the next day. Especially if you work hard in commercial and you prepare for all this, you're kind of looking ahead, working ahead. But that's my tip for this week. If you want to get your CFI quick, easy, and cheap, work through it, prepare for it while you're doing commercial. It's going to make your commercial check ride that much easier, and then you'll be ready for CFI instantly, and you'll be able to do it super cheap. Again, if you do it this way, your biggest expense for your CFI should be the DPE to actually give you the test. So I hope that helps. I hope that saves you money. I'll see you on the next video.